only two differences between traditional marketing and guerrilla marketing. I used to compare guerrilla marketing with textbook marketing, but now that guerrilla marketing is the textbook in so many universities, I've got to compare it with traditional or old-fashioned marketing. So, first difference, traditional marketing says in order to market properly, you've got to invest money. Guerrilla marketing says if you want to invest money, you can, but you don't have to, not anymore. If you're willing to make these four investments, time, energy, imagination, and information. And if you're willing to invest time, energy, imagination, and information, you're going to find you don't really have to invest much money, or maybe not at all, and you may not have to invest any money. Most people who read the guerrilla marketing books find that their marketing budgets drop and their profits rise way more than they ever dreamt they would. Another difference is that traditional marketing is enshrouded by mystique. Ask a person to define marketing, you won't get the same answer from two people, because everybody has a different idea of what marketing is, and maybe they're right in all those cases, but the fact that it's enshrouded by a mystique means that a lot of people who run a business don't do marketing because they don't want to make a mistake. What guerrilla marketing does is completely removes the mystique from the marketing process. It completely exposes marketing for just what it is, and it is certainly not complicated. By the way, I should mention that marketing is a process, it's not an event. Here, this is an event. For many people exhibiting on that trade show floor, this is a big event for them to sell what they have to offer now. But in most cases, marketing is a process that has a beginning and a middle, but it doesn't have an ending unless you decide to sell your business. Traditional marketing, as you know from the story I told you when I was teaching at Berkeley, it's geared to small business. Every word of every sentence, of every paragraph, of every chapter, of every guerrilla marketing book is geared to people who are cash-strapped, who have big dreams but do not have big budgets. And it's geared to small business. Now, these days, most of the Fortune 500 companies in the world they buy up several hundred copies of guerrilla marketing at a time so they can distribute to their salespeople and their marketing people. Because they learn this is what marketing really is, and it's not what they learned as they were growing up. The essence of guerrilla marketing is small business, people like you, and many people who own big businesses, Microsoft and AT&T and Google, they're learning that guerrilla marketing works for them, and there's no need for them to spend a lot of money. Traditional marketing measures its performance by sales, or by hits to their website, or by traffic into their store. Guerrilla marketing says those are not the numbers to look at. The only number that tells you the truth are profits. I've seen many companies set sales records and lose money on the way. It's all about profits. How much money is left over after you've paid your expenses, and that's the only measuring stick that guerrilla marketing uses. A fifth difference is guerrilla marketing, traditional marketing is based on experience and judgment, which is a fancy way of saying guesswork. But guerrillas cannot afford to make wrong guesses. So guerrilla marketing is based as much as possible upon psychology, actual laws of human behavior. Right now, one of the best-selling books in Europe is a book that I wrote with a friend called The Guerrilla Marketing Revolution, which talks about using psychology. Here's an example. We know now that 90% of all purchase decisions are made in the unconscious mind. We also now know a slam dunk manner to access the human unconscious mind. And the way to do that is through repetition. Now put those two facts together. Purchase decisions are made in the unconscious mind, and the certain slam dunk way to access the human unconscious mind is through repetition. Then you begin to have an idea of how the process of guerrilla marketing works. A sixth difference. Traditional marketing says grow your business and then diversify. So that leads to companies like Coca-Cola saying, our name means beverages, let's buy a winery. So after they dropped $90 million, they thought, well, maybe our name means soft drinks. Gerber says, well, our name means babies, let's open a line of baby furniture stores and baby clothing stores. And after they dropped about $32 million, they thought, well, maybe our name means baby food. You'd be amazed if you knew how many otherwise bright companies lost their focus and got into water over their head. That's why guerrilla marketing says, don't think about diversifying. Think about adding more excellence to what you brought to the party in the first place. Keep adding excellence. Aristotle said excellence is not a thing you achieve, it's a habit you get into. And that's what guerrilla marketers are able to do. They don't diversify, they don't get in water over their head, they just get better and better and better at their business because they maintain their focus. A seventh difference, traditional marketing says the way to grow a business is growing linearly, which is to say adding new customers one at a time. But that's an expensive way to grow, that's too slow. So guerrillas grow their business geometrically, which means they grow in 4 different directions at once. Notice how little, if anything, it costs them to do these things. Number one, they enlarge the size of each transaction. That doesn't cost them any money. Person decides to buy from them, like I do consulting for Mercedes-Benz of North America. They give a lot of upgrade training to their salespeople. The person goes into a Mercedes showroom thinking they're going to drive out the cheapest Mercedes. That's not going to happen. Because the people who work for Mercedes are taught how to upgrade the size of their transaction. At Mercedes, they call that free marketing. Another thing guerrillas do is they have more transactions per year with each of their customers. How much money does it cost to talk to people who already trust you, like you, and know you? That doesn't cost hardly anything. So guerrillas do get a whole lot of those follow-up sales. A third thing that guerrillas do is they realize everybody they sell to is the center of a network with lots of friends, lots of associates. So they tap the referral power of all their customers. And they get a lot of referral transactions. How much does it cost them to do that? It doesn't cost anything. And then they also grow the old-fashioned way by adding new customers one at a time. Now, if you're growing in 4 different directions at once, and 3 of those ways are free, it's hard not to show a profit. It's very hard not to show a profit. That's what growing geometrically is all about. And the 8th difference, so here's an ugly number. The number 68 refers to the fact that in the United States, in Europe, and in Asia, 68% of business that is lost not due to shabby quality or not due to indifferent service. It's lost due to customers being ignored after they've made the purchase. Guerrillas never ignore their customers. Once they get a customer, they keep that customer for life because they wouldn't dream of working as hard as they do to get a customer and then ignore that person after they bought something. So guerrillas practice fervent follow-up. A 9th difference. Traditional marketing says, scan the horizon until you can find your competitors and then obliterate them. No, that doesn't work anymore. That's last century's way of thinking. Guerrilla marketing says, yeah, scan the horizon, but look for businesses who have the same kind of prospects as you, the same kind of standards as you, and think cooperation rather than competition. That's why you see a television commercial and you think it's for McDonald's, and midway through you realize, no, this is really for Coca-Cola, and by the time it's over you see it all along, but it's for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the latest Disney movie. There's lots of that's called fusion marketing. There's lots of that going on. Why did FedEx get together with Kinko's? They have the same kind of prospects, they have the same kind of standards. And once you practice fusion marketing, you see there's lots of companies that want to work with you, and that reduces your marketing costs because you're sharing it with other people, but it spreads the marketing word because you'll be sharing ideas and markets with the people who you're cooperating with. A 10th difference. Traditional marketing says, sell your benefits because people buy benefits, not features. Guerrilla marketing says, yeah, that's not a bad thing to do, but what you really should do is, it's hard in a tough economy like this to sell benefits and hard for people to afford new benefits. Instead, guerrilla marketers says, sell solutions to problems. Find out what people's problems are, and it's very easy to sell solutions to their problems. They'll buy from you every time. They can't afford a benefit, but they can definitely afford to get rid of a problem that's been plaguing them.